Hey, what do you call a pig that just got over being sick? A cured ham. Hope you guys are doing well. It is a winter wonderland out here. We really didn't do any shoveling or really anything yesterday. We just kind of stayed inside and kept warm. We were happy to see that the township came in and plowed out our circle. They don't usually come up into the circle, so that was kind of a nice surprise. So I only have to do a little bit of plowing around the barn and shoveling around the pigs area and the chicken area this morning. So I overslept this morning. The pigs and the chickens are not going to be happy with me. You'll probably hear them yelling at me, but I got to go let them out. And I also have to go check on the greenhouse, and I'll talk about that a little bit when I get there. Big. There you go. Oh, crazy. You're so heavy. You're knocking me over. You're knocking me over. Huh. You're excited this morning. You getting your steps in? All right, let me get you your food. So far we haven't had any problems with the pigs water freezing. We have a heating element that goes down inside the barrel, and I cut a little notch out of the lid where I ran the electrical cord through the top of it, and I also tied that up on the post so there's no chance of the pigs being able to reach that. You definitely want to be careful with any kind of electrical around pigs, or really any animal for that matter. I'll show you a close-up of how we have that set up, but so far everything's been working great. So as you can see, I have the electrical cord tied in a knot around one of the posts, and that prevents the electrical cord from drooping down where the pigs could get a hold of it. I have the electric running down through the lid of the barrel, and I cut a little U-shaped notch out of the lid, like a little flap, basically just to keep the dust and dirt and possibly any mice or anything that could get in there, from getting in the water. Now that I've taken the lid off, hopefully you can see that the heating element is positioned right next to the nipple to prevent that from freezing up. I think I've mentioned this before, but the main issue that we were having was not so much the water inside the barrel freezing, but the nipple itself, where the water comes out of the nippler, was freezing when it was exposed to the elements. That's why I have the heater placed on the inside of the barrel right next to the nipple. Nobody told you that was rude to chew with your mouth open? As many of you know, we keep our chickens inside of our stall, and we've been feeding them in the stall lately just because it's been so cold, right? I think today is like about 15 degrees. We did put a board up on the doorway and just kind of cut a little hole that they can go outside if they want to. Most of our chickens have no interest in going outside at all. I don't know about yours, but if there's snow on the ground or if it's cold out, they pretty much stay inside. I'm planning on modifying that board that we have in the doorway simply because it doesn't allow any light into the stall. Now, like I said, they can go outside if they want to get some light, but it's really dark in there. And so I was thinking to put some kind of plexiglass or something up on the door just to allow that extra light in there. They're yelling at me. I got to get their food in there. Peekaboo. I see you. I see you. Watch out, watch out. Watch out. Now when it comes to the chickens' water, we tend to keep ours outside. We found over the years that any kind of open container inside of a chicken coop will allow excess moisture to be built up inside that coop, which can cause frostbite with the chickens. Now we do make an exception to that rule by using an enclosed chicken waterer, the ones that have the lid on it, and it basically just has the little nipples on the side, so there's not really a whole lot of moisture being released into the air. And we do this mainly because we don't want the chickens to dehydrate by not going outside and drinking the water like they should be. Chickens typically don't drink a lot in one sitting, but rather they'll make multiple trips to the water. So if it's cold outside and they're not wanting to go outside because it's cold, I would rather have the water inside the coop. That way they can get hydrated and stay healthy. Because it's so cold out today, unfortunately all the faucets in the barn area are frozen solid, and we actually have heat tape on them and they're still not working. So at least we can come into the tack room. It's a enclosed insulated room that we keep kind of to about 50 degrees, and we can fill up our water in here. The last thing I wanted to do this morning is check on our greenhouse to make sure that there's not a lot of snow buildup on the top. It looks like the sun came out and is melting most of it, so that's a good thing. The second thing you want to look for is the snow buildup on the ground. That can do almost as much damage as the snow sitting on top. The weight and the pressure from the snow on the sides can actually push in on your greenhouse and bend the bars and do a lot of damage. So you want to make sure you clear the sides of your greenhouse if you have any kind of snow buildup. I'm kind of curious to see what the temperature is inside. It's like 15 degrees outside right now. That's crazy. It is 80 degrees in there. I can't believe it. We need to get in there and start doing some work. So if anybody joined us on our live stream, we talked about this backhoe that we received as a gift. It's a 1970s, I forget exactly what year, but it's in the 70s, a Ford backhoe. It runs great. I just need to work on some of the hydraulics and some other things on it, but we're excited to get this running and hopefully have this part of some of our content that we can add to our channel. Fortunately, we've had a fortunate from the bottom of our. Ooh, let's see that. Water comes out of the nipple and is exposed. Hey, hey, come on. Leave it. Hey. Leave it alone. Moisture inside the coop that can actually go outside, and I don't want them to dehydrate. So I'd rather have them dehydrated with a little frostbite if possible. Chickens have a tendency to drink more frequent. Chickens tend to not. Chickens typically don't chip.
It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. Any second now.